Hey there everybody, I'm Sigor Campos and today we're going to talk about pitch tunneling. So what the hell is pitch tunneling? So basically pitch tunneling is how close the ball seems until the last minute for the hitter. So we're talking about well executed nasty pitches right here. So in case a pitcher has two very similar pitches, the release point and the body movement are the exact same thing, the same mechanics, those pitches move or they change the trajectory in a very considerable way, and they do this very late. So they start looking identical. The perfect example for this, of course, is the four-seamer and the cutter. They both look like normal fastballs, but the difference is that here comes the four-seamer, here comes the cutter. Yeah, they look similar until the final second. So, the four-seam fastball, again, if you mix it with an overhand curveball. Yeah, two very different pitches, not even the same type. One is a fastball, the other one is a breaking ball. So the thing is that the first few feet of the ball's trajectory are going to look the exact same as the other pitches. And then when it's too close for the hitter to do something about it, he has already swung and he has already been buckled. One of those two, but both are perfect for the pitcher. So, the difference for the hitter, not only do you have to hit a baseball with a bat, which is the hardest thing to do in sports, and that's not an opinion, that's a fact. You don't know what's coming, and the movement is late. So, when the ball comes out of that tunnel, that's why this is called pitch tunneling, that's when the real break comes. And that's why the cutter is a perfect example, because it looks like a fastball until it gets out of the tunnel and then it wipes you out with a nasty movement. So the pitcher shows a very similar release point for the other pitches. That's why it's important, For example, Aroldis Chapman. Aroldis Chapman throws the four-seam fastball and then throws the slider. The difference between his arm angles on those pitches is 2 degrees. Freaking crazy. 2 degrees between a fastball and a slider. The fastball is coming at 100 miles an hour and the slider is coming at 87, 88? So big velocity and big movement and location difference, but they look the same. Then the ball drops after the straight trajectory that it began with. But it's too late for the hitter to do something. So a pitch usually has two trajectories. The pre-break and the post-break. So the pre-break is before the break point of the baseball. Ta-da! So every pitch has a breaking point. Every breaking pitch, at least. The cutter is the easiest example. Again, it goes like this and then hits the break point and goes to the side. For a slider, for example, a slider does this. It starts out like this and then it moves to the side, or a bit like this. It's like a flatter curveball, but it's also harder, which is why the slider is such an effective pitch. Here it reaches like the middle of the trajectory and then it changes. So first it was going up and then it's going down. First it was going to the right, then it's going to the left. And that's the break point, when the pitch starts the other movement, okay? The pitch begins its second trajectory, or the second part of the trajectory. So that's why batters basically chase pitches out of the strike zone that are way out of the strike zone. These two types of breaks are of course caused by the Magnus effect. Hot air, cold air in the seams of the baseball cause the ball to change the way it moves, the way it behaves. Due to rotation and the effect that the rotation and the turbulence caused by the irregularity on the seams causes that break, that Magnus effect. So you have to consider the fact that a pitcher's mechanics make him release the baseball about 33% closer to the batter's box than the rubber. So the rubber is 60 feet 6 inches away from the plate, but a pitcher does not release the baseball 60 feet 6 inches away from the plate. The pitcher releases the baseball about 40 feet and 4 inches away from the plate. The reason is, of course, because of the mechanic. And the mechanic, if you throw close, if you execute your mechanics properly, you are going to be able to throw the pitch 20 feet and 2 inches closer to the batter's box. So it's not only throwing well, it's not only throwing with break or throwing hard, it's also throwing close. So some pitchers do this better than others. Of course, the release point can change because of the pitch that you're throwing. So the tunnel point, the tunnel where the pitch comes in and it breaks right when it enters the tunnel, and it goes out already broken. Get it? Yeah. It's about 23.8 feet away from the batter's box, from home plate. And if you perform properly, you can make a hitter think that a fastball is a changeup, and vice versa, and with every other single pitch. So he doesn't notice what pitch it is until the ball is about 5 feet away from the batter's box, and then he's dead. And you have to consider 1 feet equals 3 miles an hour, and he will be tricked with a 15 mile an hour differential. So a 75 mile an hour curveball can trick a hitter into thinking that it's an 88 mile an hour fastball if your fastball isn't that hard. So that's why most hitters need to face this guessing game. They either prepare, study the sequences, or just guess, which is a terrible strategy, and you're probably going to suck if you are just trying to guess without studying the pitcher and his tendencies and his mechanics and his timing, of course. So that's why when they wait until they know what's coming, they realize it's coming. I mean, it's like, oh look, there's a fastball, I'm trying to swing up, damn it, it's late. Oh look, there's a curveball, it's late again. Because if you can execute your pitches properly, they will only break when you want them to, out of that tunnel, extremely close to the batter's box, and you already tricked them with the arm angle. So if the arm angle is the exact same thing, or it has very little difference, like Aroldis Chapman, who throws the slider and then the fastball with a 2-degree differential of his arm, yeah, the hitters are dead. So that's why the hitters need to know pitchers' tendencies and sequences, because they cannot expect to do everything based on luck and guessing what the pitch tunneling is going to be, or guessing the sequence. That's why you have to train your eyes. That's why you have to train your reactions. That's why you have to train your reflexes. So there's pitch tunneling, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the most simple thing out there, but I hope you were able to understand it. So basically, when the ball breaks on a well-executed pitch, it's only 40% of the trajectory. If it's better, it's later. The later the break, the better, and the sillier you will make the hitter appear. So yeah, but the average ball breaks when it's 61% of the trajectory covered, and then it breaks, and that's what pitch tunneling gives you. It makes everything look the same for the first, basically the first 2/3 of the trajectory, and it only breaks on the last third. So that's a well-executed pitch. That's pitch tunneling. That's the effectiveness it can have for a pitcher when he executes properly. And that's gonna do it for today. I hope you liked the video. Hope you found this interesting, useful. Hope you learned something today. If you knew what pitch tunneling was, well, tell me in the comments. I already knew what it was. This video didn't give me anything new. And if you didn't know what it was, well, you're welcome. You learned something. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you like, comment, share the video, subscribe, and hope you have a great day. We're all missing baseball right now, but yeah, I'll try to keep you entertained with this different things that I've been creating for everybody, and of course for me, because I'm doing it for fun. I don't have much else to do right now, so there you have it. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.